There's a new call today for Facebook to do more to crack down on scammers. A New
Facebook?
Brunswick woman is going public after her account was hacked and hijacked and her friends targeted.
How did it get
As Rosa
hijacked?
Marcatelli reports, if you're a fan of social media, you should be vigilant because this scam is still making the rounds online.
And it's not going to stop.
We've stayed in touch through Facebook and Messenger, right, over the years.
These former neighbors were reunited after being sucked
Why were
into
you
a
reunited?
Facebook scam that's designed to play on the goodwill of friends. Here's what happened. A
listening.
fraudster hacked Lisa Lowry's account, pretending to...
Hold on. Let me look at this. And I'm hearing a lot of red flags early on. Facebook needs to crack down on scammers. Friends reunited after a Facebook scam. What's really going on here? And this looks like a deal that's way too good to be true. Undirected Team, we got another one. This one's gonna be fun. You've seen the title, you've seen the thumbnail, so you're probably wondering what's going on. A lot of the times, I actually look at self-inflicted wounds and I go more towards that first and accountability. But in this situation, I might actually look at the platform a little bit more because as a platform, you do have a responsibility to understand your users. And Facebook has an older generation of users. You know, as far as all of the platforms that are social, you can call them social media platforms, Facebook has the most vast by far with billions of users. I think it's somewhere close to 40% of the population is active on Facebook, and this might hit close to home if you're a Facebook user, so get prepared. Nearly 19 hours a month are spent on Facebook by the average user. That is a lot of time on Facebook. And that is the average. So you got people that are hardcore and going way harder than that, and maybe some that are less. Me personally, I got rid of Facebook as far as a social media app long ago because to me it's played out. Although I will say that the the marketplace still has a lot of value. So I do use it only for marketplace because it has, as I said, a lot of users. So you can get your product and what you're trying to sell out to a lot of people. The marketplace is also very, very, very saturated with scammers and people that know that just based off the numbers, you're going to catch somebody that you're going to be able to get over on Facebook. I think a lot of the problem comes when it's your own people that try to get over on you and take advantage of your being desperate, being in, you know what? When we get to the end of the video, you're going to see exactly what I'm talking about. And you're going to see why at first I was leaning more towards blaming Facebook, but now you'll understand why the thumbnail makes a lot of sense. With Gen X cannibalizing each other and taking advantage of their hardships as they get older and experience loss in their life. And it's disgusting behavior to me, and I just don't understand it. So with that, we're going to continue to watch this. In between there, I got a surprise for you where we're going to do a couple of TikTok videos that are pretty interesting. Before we move on, the big four: like, share, comment, subscribe. I do got links below if you want to support. We're only as good as our teammates to the left, our teammates to the right. So as we help each other, we get better. And that's all this has ever been about. It's not about me, it's about us. Let's get to it, team.
To be her, they posted an ad claiming she was selling her dad's things after he moved into long-term care. Several friends sent...
We just got to stop right here. When you see people and they're saying, hey, you know, most of the time on Facebook, and we're actually going to see it in the middle of this video with a woman that gets inundated with scammers trying to buy their stuff. you also have these people that try to get over on your lack of knowledge of what you have, and they try to give you an offer that you know is not a fair deal. Because most of the time we just want something fair for both sides. But when you offer somebody or accept somebody giving you a deal that is way too low to be true, well, there's going to be two things. Either they're selling you something stolen, or you're trying to take advantage of their kindness. But the problem is that Facebook is about friends, and the people that are trying to buy these things are friends. So one of the things that I thought was
e-transfer to
a little bit weird when they said that these two ladies reunited off a Facebook scam. Well, the woman that she reunited with tried to make a purchase from her that was less than ideal for both parties. Let's get into it and see what we got.
deposits, losing thousands of dollars, including Carol Stevens.
I thought it was my friend Lisa, and she's the most honest, trustworthy person I know.
Lisa
Are you honest and trustworthy, though? Look how she looking at Lisa. Look at how she looking at Lisa. Like food. Like she wants to eat her.
and her friends repeatedly reported the crime in progress to Facebook, but the company did nothing to stop it.
They had a lot of people saying this is a scam, and they didn't do anything about it.
Last year, Canadians lost a reported $174
Canadians. We always love it when Canadians get involved in the news. I want to go to Canada. I want to see if the people are really as nice and as accommodating and hospitable as they say they are. I need to go to Canada. Or Canada. Did I say Canada? Is it Canada or is it Canada?
$1 million in social media scams, according to the Canadian Anti-Fraud Centre.
Canadian.
And there's more. GoPublic found page after page of the same scam running rampant on Facebook. Same words, same photos. So we asked Meta, the company behind Facebook, why it's failing to remove a scam it already knows about. It didn't respond.
Facebook can't do, I mean, they probably actually can do something. They make a lot of money, Facebook. Billions and billions of dollars in revenue. And they get it basically off of ads and selling your information. Although I'm saying that allegedly because I think there was some type of court case where they can't do that or something like that. But when you sign up for Facebook and you think that it's free, it's not free. Nothing's ever free. You're the commodity on Facebook and they make millions of dollars off of you. So just know that.
As a result, what starts as a in issue is exacerbated into a massive identity theft or identity fraud.
Meta made about $185 billion in revenue last year. The cyber...
Damn, I was way off. I was thinking like 5 to 10 billion, 185 billion in revenue. Wow. I mean, I know they got a lot of servers that they gotta, pay for and costs and upkeep, but I gotta figure that they're making a lot of profit off that 175.
Crime expert says it's time it invests more into
Shout out to
protecting
Mark
users.
Zuckerberg.
The organizations need to respond to people's actual needs.
Posing as a customer, GoPublic contacted several of the scammers. He wants 300.
CBS News hitting up the scammers. Man, y'all better be careful for they hack CBS News. Like, you think the scammers care? They probably excited like, yo, we done made the big time, y'all. They got everybody huddled around a computer. They figuring out how to send a message to troll y'all. They contacted the scammers
When we
from the
called one of
CBS
them out
News.
and asked if Facebook had ever shut them down, they didn't seem worried.
The scammers. The scammers is having too much fun with this. I mean,
Meta says over 15,000 reviewers across the globe review potential violations on Facebook and Instagram and receive in-depth training. The two women say they've lost trust in social media, but they're grateful to have someone they can trust back in their lives.
We will not go so long before our next visit.
And you won't try to buy stuff from her that you know she's selling way too cheap and she's desperate for, and maybe give her a fair deal if you're her friend.
Together.
Yeah.
Rosa Marketing.
I don't trust their friendship. It doesn't seem real, but I could be wrong. We're going to go to a segue before we get to the last part of the show. And we're actually going to look at a couple of Facebook posts where, you know, these people end up getting contacted by scammers, getting their Facebook accounts taken over. And we're going to try to read between the lines because oftentimes when we see these videos, they leave out a lot of context. And we have no idea how they end up in these situations. And they don't want to say, hey, you know, I made a huge mistake that compromised my account, but I don't want to take advantage of it. I want to blame Facebook for my problems. So we'll see what happens.
We have a conversation about how selling something on Facebook Marketplace is literally just a sea of scammers. Like, I kid you not, I'm just trying to sell my old TV console, mid-century modern, super cute. Immediately after posting it, I got like 5
Hold
requests to buy.
on. Let me go back real quick. Why you don't give us an in-depth look at what you're selling? Because that does not look super cute and
Century
modern. That look modern to y'all? I'm looking at it right now. Can I zoom in? It's not letting me zoom in. There's nicks and all kind of problems going on with that. Now, I don't know how you got your ad set up, but you got zoomed in pictures on all those nicks and stuff. I'm just seeing it from here, and you're not trying to give an in-depth look, and that does not look modern at all. Not at all. It doesn't look modern.
Super cute. Immediately after posting it, I got like 5 requests to buy it.
I'm going to tell y'all this right now. There's 2 things that are going to happen. When you get a lot of requests, you're either selling something at a good deal on Facebook or you're selling something overpriced on Facebook. If you're selling something at a fair price, you'll get moderate looks. You might not get anybody that will even contact you for a few days, and then you'll get somebody. I don't use Facebook as a social media platform anymore at all. I don't engage with people on there. I don't look at people's timelines or their stories or anything like that. I do use it for Marketplace because, again, they have 3 billion users, and Marketplace, you can get a lot of eyes on what you're selling. Back in the day, it used to be Craigslist, and then Craigslist made some strategic moves that I thought weren't very smart, particularly when Facebook decided to have people pay to post their vehicles. I don't know why they did that. I don't know if it was just for revenue or if it was to stop scammers from posting fake vehicles and stuff. But when they did that, and Facebook has way more eyes and you can also post it for free, it just made no sense at all to use Craigslist anymore. So I did move away from Craigslist, but that's where I started selling my vehicles at early on when I used to flip vehicles. Anyways, if you get a lot of hits on Facebook and you're selling what you're selling for more than what you should be selling it for, it's going to be nothing but scammers. The reason why is because scammers know that if you're trying to sell something that costs more than, let's say, I'll do this. I'm selling this remote, whatever. This remote should probably not be sold for, realistically, if I'm being real, I'm actually guessing, I'll just say $30 for this remote, right? I'm pretty sure if I look it up, that'd be around the price, a fair price. Now, if I sell that remote for $115, nobody that's a real person is going to try to buy it. But hundreds of scammers will try to buy the remote from me. Why? Because they know that I'm trying to get over on the people on Facebook. So they're going to try to get over on me. And that's the thing about scammers, and it's been consistent through all the videos that we've done up to now, is that most of the people that end up getting scammed are people that were looking to get over on somebody to begin with. And that's what this woman right here is doing. You can just look at her face and tell that she is completely delusional. Let's see what you got to say.
And so I'm like, okay, cool. Like, take it. Like, I'd love to have the money and like come and get it. And then I'm getting offers. Like, I'm getting offers for above asking. And
When they send you offers for above asking, you already know it's a scam. Nobody's ever going to give you an offer above asking price. Nobody. Only a scammer. And they know that you're thirsty to try to sell what you have, because people that are really trying to buy stuff on Facebook, they'll wait you out. Real people are going to lowball you. Scammers are going to try to send you over the asking price because they have nothing to lose.
And then they start asking me for like my Venmo and, you know, hey, can I call you instead? Like, can I text you? And so me being the naive person I was, the first person that reached out to me, I'm like, sure, you can text me. That's fine. So I'm texting them.
That's a mistake. What I don't understand is this. If we can communicate perfectly fine through Messenger on Facebook, why on earth would I need to text you? It's almost easier to actually text somebody on Messenger than it is to text them from your actual phone number.
This person, and you know, I'm starting to notice like some of the grammar is kind of weird. And she asks for my Venmo. So I send her the screenshot of like my QR code. And like before I sent it, because I was taking a minute, she was like, hello, like, are you still there? Like, just being very aggressive. So after I sent.
Yeah, when somebody's aggressive like that, you know, if anybody ever tries to rush you to do something and doesn't give you time to think, they're scamming you all the time. Or on the other hand, if a buyer's trying to buy something from you immediately, they know they're getting a hell of a deal and they don't want anybody else to try to infringe on said deal. When you have a fair priced item, you can take your time selling it and buying it. The only time that there's rushes on either side is when you're being scammed or when somebody's trying to get a deal or you're giving a deal that's way too good to be true and they're trying to hurry up and get it from you.
The screenshot, I was kind of getting a little suspicious. And so I went to view the buyer's profile and she had joined in 2024, which is like, it's only been a few weeks in 2024. So she's not been on Facebook very long. Then literally 30 seconds later, after I figured out she'd only been on for like a couple weeks, I got a text for a like confirmation code for Google Voice.
I just can't with her face, man. This is crazy. I don't even know. Like, just look. What do you want me to say about this?
And I was like, Like, I definitely did not request that in the past 30 seconds. And
The
I don't
dog
know how
sounds
this
smarter in the
person
background.
decided to get that, but now I'm kind of freaking out and wondering, like, am I being hacked? Is this a thing? So then I get an offer from another person and I'm like, that's great. It's above asking.
She's asking way too much for whatever that monstrosity of, what did she say it was? A TV stand? Whatever that is back there looks awful.
And I go and I see the offer. I accept the offer because I'm like, cool, like $100. That's more than I was asking. And she's like, okay, what's your Venmo? Can I call you? And then I was like, no, like I prefer to have like, let's stay in Messenger, you know, silence. And then I got another offer.
Wow, I gotta speed this up. I don't know if I can take a whole nother.
That comes up from Facebook Marketplace that was like, hey, here's how to be safe when you're dealing with buyers. Oh, bad. But if you're ever selling something on Facebook Marketplace, please just like be aware of that and don't go off of Messenger, because I could be getting hacked right now and I have no idea what these people can do with the information that I've given them.
The information that you've given them. The information that you've given them. They didn't do anything but just ask, and you just gave. Because you're so thirsty to sell that contraption you got behind you that you're asking over what it's worth. And All you do is attract scammers because no real buyers are going to buy that. I can just look at it and tell you it's worth about $30 max. I don't even have to see it. I can look at it from that little bit of what I can see from here. That thing's worth $30. And just ask for a fair price. Whatever you sell, I don't care what type of price you want to put on it. It's worth what someone will pay for it. You can say that, well, my car's worth $15,000. Is anybody offering you 15 grand? No, the highest offer I got is 8,000. It's probably worth about that price then, give or take. I mean, the average of what people are offering you is usually about what it's worth. It's not that hard to figure out. The buyers dictate the price, not the sellers. See what we got with this guy.
My Facebook account was hacked and I honestly don't know if I will get it back. Here's the story of how someone took over my account and started running ads on my credit card. And if this can happen to me, it can happen to you. I'll also bring you along on the journey.
I don't want to hear that. If it could happen to you, it could happen to me. I'm going to want to know, and you're going to need to tell us, he's going to need to tell us, team, how it can happen to us. Before you go on, tell us exactly how you got hacked. Because then we can figure out if it's going to happen to us. Don't just put your foolishness on us, because I've never had my Facebook account hacked. Ever. Not even close. So why is it happening to you?
As I try to get my account back, so consider this part one. I have been on Facebook for more than 17 years. I've had the same phone number and email address associated with my account for that entire time.
Have you ever changed your password in 17 years? Are you still using your password from back when you were a teenager?
I have 2 more email addresses on the account as well that have been there for 10 plus years. In 2 minutes, someone was able to remove all 3
17 years came down to 2 minutes. Sheesh.
email addresses and my phone number, despite the fact I have 2-factor authentication turned on. I use Facebook personally. I'm an ads customer. I run pages. I admin groups. Facebook is a worldwide leader in artificial intelligence. Everything about what happened should have looked like.
Is Facebook the leader in worldwide artificial intelligence? He might be right. I'm not going to dispute him on that. I know Google's up there, though. Google's up there.
Like a hack to them, but for some reason it did not. I got an email at 7:44 a.m. asking if I had added an email to my account. I didn't respond because it looked like phishing. For future reference, if you get an email from @facebookmail.com, that's legit.
Of course it's legit. You can look at the Facebook, you can look at the email address and know if it's legit or not. If it says came from 2PC -- fakescammeraccount.com, then you know it's probably fake. But it came literally from Facebook.com. Hold on, what did he say? Where's that?
@facebookmail.com.
facebookmail.com. I'm pretty sure they're gonna make sure that they got that in their domain. Right? Now, if it says Facebook Mail, or if it says Facebook Mall or something like that, like there's no I in there, like it's facebookmall.com or facebook.com, Facebook, and there's like 4 O's between. There's like four O's between the B and the K. You know, then you're probably looking at it as a little shady. But you said you've been on Facebook for 17 years, man. How you overlooking these clear signs and not recognizing what's going on?
That's legit. By 7:45, an email came through with a passcode to reset my password. Seconds later, an email saying my password was changed. Seconds later after that, individual emails saying all 3 email addresses were removed. At 7:46, I was informed my phone number was removed from my Facebook account. 7:49, I finally realized this was legit.
Nah, man. He's not Gen X. He's probably a millennial. Older millennial. He could be Gen X. But he's got 17 years on the platform, but obviously he didn't learn much over that time as far as how the site actually works.
I tried to click on the buttons in the email saying this was not me, but it was too late. It took someone 2 minutes to take away an account I've had for 17 years. By 8:30 a.m.
Sir, how did they take over your account? You just did nothing? When you make these type of videos, when people make these type of videos and they don't tell the whole story, it is so deceptive. They just want sympathy, but they don't want to explain that, hey, I was doing something I wasn't supposed to and I gave over my account to a hacker. But he won't do it. I don't appreciate people like this.
They had at least one ad running. By 9:22, they had charged more than $50 to my ad account, and nothing I tried seemed to be working to get my account back. The solution is supposed to be to go to facebook.com/hacked. So far, that's not working. That's gonna be part 2 of this video.
I'm not watching part 2 of your video. I don't want to hear nothing else you got to say. This guy is insane, man. He looks like he should be better than this, but apparently he's not. Let's look at this last one before we move on to the main part of the story.
My previous videos, I got Facebook hacked at like 4:30 to 4:34 in the morning. 4 minutes flat. They're in and out. They got into my account by using 2 wrong passwords.
They got into your account by using 2 wrong passwords. So she's saying kind of what happened, but she's not near Chicago. Probably on a VPN. Hey, Maya. So they put in a fake email address. So when they take your email address over, when they take your original email address and put theirs in, you're getting closer to being locked out for good. All they really have to do after that is... But, you know, sometimes there's trusted devices where you can, you know, if they try to log in through a device that has never logged in to Facebook, Facebook does have a lot of security measures. If you go into the security portion of Facebook, you'll see a lot of different measures that you can take. You know, obviously the main ones, 2FORM, where they, you know, send you a text or they send you an email. But I think you can do it as far as logged in devices and things like that. So they have a lot of different measures, but let's see what happened with her.
4:31 a.m. This was not me. Granted, I was asleep, and by the time I clicked it, it was way too late.
Yeah, it's way too late.
All they had to do was go in, put 2 wrong passwords, then you get this that pops up. So normally, whenever you put in 2 wrong passwords, even if the hackers have your email and phone number, you should be able to get in via this, and it should say, no longer have access to these devices. That's how they hacked me, guys. That's how they hacked me.
I don't understand this. Team, do y'all understand how she got hacked? She's saying she didn't do anything at all. So she's saying that basically you can go to facebook.com. You can, but they had to have your login information, or at least they got your email, so they put the wrong password in twice, and then I'm totally confused. I'm gonna run it back one time and see if I can catch this.
You're able to then put in wrong passwords, even if the hackers have your email and phone number.
Okay, hold on. So the hackers have your email and phone number. All right.
You should be able to get in via this, and it should say, no longer have access to these devices. That's how they hacked me, guys. That's how they hacked me. You're able to then put in whatever email you want. It sends you an OTP, one-time passcode. Then they were able to, as you saw before...
Where's the OTP one-time password going to, though? Wouldn't it go to your number? So it seems like you got hacked outside of Facebook, and then they accessed your Facebook. So did you get your phone stolen? Did you get SIM swapped? Did they hack your email address for whatever reason? So they were able to get into your email? Because if you get into someone's email, you can do a lot of damage. Oftentimes you can replace a password just by having somebody's email. So
delete my emails, add theirs, and completely take me out of my account. There's no way to get in it. So I tried it back the same way, but this is all I get. You can see your name and profile picture because you're using the computer network you've logged in on before. Now, why is it when they're so big about security, I can log in with the correct email, correct password, possibly correct phone number, correct trusted device and network, and yet it still says I'm not able to log in. Yet a hacker can get in by doing 2 wrong passwords in the middle of Chicago, and I live in Texas, just because they have access. So, yeah,
have access to what, though? There's something she's not telling right now. It doesn't work like that. They have to have access to something that they can find a backdoor to get into to be able to work their way in to your account. I can't just go on Facebook and just select somebody randomly and then put in 2 wrong passwords and then be able to gain access to their account and change everything. So I don't really understand what's going on with this.
considering my Facebook a complete loss, even though it has my bank account, small business attached to it. So
This is my first time watching it. She's very clever with her words and she's leaving something out. I don't want to keep going over it and trying to figure it out, but I will at a later time. But maybe y'all got it already. So if y'all do, let me know in the comments what I'm missing here. And then maybe I can save time with trying to figure this out because, yeah, this one's shady right here. Team. So we're going to get into the last part of the shoe. And this one is really interesting. And this is where most of what I'm saying about Gen X getting over on each other, and this can happen in any generation, and it does all the time. But for this specific story, it just happens to be this demographic, and Facebook is catering mostly to this demographic. Younger people don't really use Facebook like that. Facebook has a older, although a lot of young people have Facebook, they don't really engage with it. But I mean, yeah, the average user of Facebook is older. I'm gonna say they're probably like 30 plus. I would probably go higher than that, 35 plus. And so we're gonna see what happens with this, and then we'll go from here.
Attorneys general all across the country are demanding that Meta do something about hackers taking over Facebook and Instagram accounts.
Now, among the victims, a Berkeley widower whose Facebook account was hijacked last summer, and 10 months later, the imposter was still in control and scamming his friends.
ABC 7's Stephanie Sierra has this report from 7 on your side.
It brings up a lot of anger that somebody would be so evil.
Richard Links was grieving the loss of his beloved wife, Catherine, last July when the scammer...
Sorry about that, man. I mean, I don't know if I can be sorry about it, but, you know, it sucks. It sucks that we all have to go through not only losing our own lives, but losing the lives of the people around us that we care and love for so much. That's why I'll just say this. Enjoy your life as much as you can in the moments that you have, because it can be over at any time.
Are swept in.
Just stomp on me, why don't you, and rub your dirty heels all over me.
And drink lots of water. I keep a jug of water with me at all times that I'm constantly drinking. Spring water. And not saying that something bad can't happen, but I'll just always say this. Do your best, and then you can't really be upset with the outcome. But if you know you're not doing the best that you can, and then something bad happens, you can only kick yourself for it.
Hacker had taken control of Richard's Facebook page, pretending to be Richard, raising money for Catherine's funeral.
I'm going to give Richard a pass on this. He's not explaining how he got his account taken over on Facebook, but let's just say he legitimately got hacked for some reason and they took over his account. He's a man that just lost his wife. He's distraught. He's vulnerable. And so I'm going to give him a pass. He got his account hacked. Scammers took over. And now they're creating GoFundMes in the name of his wife so they can collect the funds from the people on his page that decide to donate to him.
Using this photo of her smiling face.
It was so exploitive to exploit a widower in his moment of grief.
Richard and his friends kept reporting the fraud to Facebook, but Facebook did nothing about it. Automated responses said the account doesn't go against our community standards, and it isn't pretending to be you, which was...
Yeah, but the thing is like, you know, Facebook is using bots to respond. They have 3 billion users. They don't have enough people to physically respond, or I say manually respond to everybody that's making an inquiry. They're going to use bots and AI to respond to as many people as possible. You're going to have to continue to reach out to them and try to get in contact with them to get in touch with a real person.
It's infuriating.
The complaints go to an algorithm. The algorithm spits it back and says there's nothing wrong.
Months later, the hacker was still in control, now pretending Richard was selling these cars.
All right, this is where it starts to get interesting, y'all. And this is where I'm going to start to take a turn from I still don't have a problem with Rich. Y'all know if somebody, I have no problem going in, but I'm not going in on Rich on this one. But his friends, in quotes, we're going to see what they do.
Expecting to go to Richard's house and look at this thing.
Eric Thies saw the offer.
Eric Thies. Let me go back on him. Look at Eric. This is supposed to be Richard's friend, Eric Thies. Let's see what's going on with Eric.
Eric Thies saw the offer and thought it was really Richard selling his cars.
Eric Thies. Why are you trying to get over on Rich? Let me talk to you real quick, Eric. You know Rich just lost his wife. You know he's distraught. And you see this man on here selling his Infiniti G37S. Throw the S on there because it's probably the premium model. No leaks or check engine light. Fully loaded with everything. Suspension, rims, tires, spoilers, lights, sports rotors and calipers, heated seats, backup camera for $1,400. Now you know that only 2 things are going on here, but you're a greedy man. You're a greedy man. Because it's either a scammer or Rich is just at a point where he's ready to just give it all up. And instead of consoling your friend, and instead of saying, you know what, skip the car, I'm going to reach out to Rich and tell him, take this post down. Let me come pick you up. Let's go out and have a drink and just hang out as friends. And let me see what's going on with you. Why are you selling your 2000 Infiniti for way less than you should be asking for? You know him personally. Because if it's just a random person, like if I seen this, me personally, if I'm browsing Facebook and I see a post like this, I'm going to think it's a scammer selling this. But because he's friends with Rich, he's looking at this and saying, oh, wow, I can get over on my friend. He's selling his vehicle in this time of need and crisis and vulnerability for way less than it's worth. Let me try to jump on this and get over on him.
So, hi, Richard. I'm interested in learning more about the...
I'm interested in learning more about the Infiniti you're selling. What kind of mileage does it get? This is all like, why you blur?
Infiniti.
Why do we blur out what he just? No. I want to know what was said right here. Why is this blurred out? Let me see if I can see what's under there. It looks like, or why they blurring out what he said? You don't care what the mileage is, or at that price, you're gonna buy it no matter what. Based off the pictures and the price, you could probably possibly make 7 times your money on that selling it fast.
More about the Infiniti you're selling.
Eric had no idea he was messaging a hacker or that the
And I'm glad
cars
he
were
was.
just photos. He agreed to
Look at
pay
that
Richard
car
a
for
$500
$1,400.
deposit, but
How much would you like for a down payment? Hadn't budgeted for a car, picking up a check tomorrow afternoon. Thirsty.
became suspicious.
At that point, I asked, remind me how we know each other.
The imposter
Remind you how man, this dude.
replied, "That's Catherine, my wife, Charity Zell," which made no sense.
And so at that point, I decided it was a scam.
I don't like that guy. That's just me personally. This guy right here, let's see what he's got going on. Let's see how he's going to treat his friend Richard.
really think that I got suckered in hook, line, and sinker.
Gregory Morgan didn't know he was bargaining.
2012 Honda Accord for sale, $1,700. Perfect condition, no problem at all. Just need some space. I had bought a knee car. A 6-cylinder clean title, runs very well, no mechanical issues, just had the oil change. Look how clean that damn car is. $1,700. I would buy that car for $1,700 times and make a whole bunch of money reselling it. And you know the cartoons where they get the dollar signs in their eyes? Like they open their eyes up and there's a dollar sign in there. Cha-ching! That's what his friend seen when he seen Richard over here that just lost his wife, getting rid of his property at way, way below market value. So he's going to do what? Get reeled in, hook, line, and sinker, by his own words.
With an imposter either.
The picture was of Richard Lynx, and there's nothing that would indicate that it wasn't Richard Lynx.
That's the problem. So if you know this is Richard Lynx, you're friends with him, this is his account, and you see that he is at a vulnerable state selling his car way under market value, and you immediately try to jump on it from him and buy it, does that make you a friend? Because the people that are trying to buy these cars and all this property from them, tractor trailers that are worth $15,000 for $2,000 and brand new pickup trucks for $2,000 that MSRP for $21,000, and they're actually believing, because it all makes sense, that this is the actual person. It's not like this is a new account that just got built. They hacked into Richard's account that he's had for 10 plus years, and you've been friends with him the whole time. So when you see this, 100% you actually believe this is your friend selling it. And here this guy goes. And he's ready to get over on Rich. He's going to PayPal him $200. I can send $200 as soon as I have what?
Gregory agreed to pay a $200
Your PayPal account email.
deposit for this Honda. Thankfully, PayPal blocked the payment. So did Venmo. Turns out the hackers' accounts were...
Shout out to PayPal and Venmo for blocking the payment. Look how thirsty he is. Look how thirsty he is. Hey, sometimes the hackers have broken English, bad vocabulary and stuff like that, but you know, even the guy that was trying to get over on his friend Rich, I'm getting an error message. Forgot the R on error, so I don't know who the hacker or who the scammer is. And when you're scamming somebody in a reverse fashion, you can't tell who is who. He's so thirsty that he can't even type out his message fast enough because he's so quick to try to get over on his friend. You know that damn car is worth like $7,000, $8,000, $9,000. If you care about Rich, you're gonna throw him $4,500, man. You still making money? Man, I don't
Were
get it,
flagged
y'all.
for fraud.
And so I said, call me so we can discuss this.
The scammer then replied,
Thirsty.
"You don't trust me. You just made me feel unwanted. We are like brothers. Oh my God, don't make me remember my wife. I'm about to cry."
The scammers are terrible people, man. There's nobody good in this situation. There is nobody good in this situation but Rich. He's the only one that's good, and he's not even involved in any of this at all.
Well, Richard would never
Crazy.
do that.
Both friends tried to report the
Wait, so you know Richard very well? Hold on, what did he just say?
Richard would never do that.
both friends cry.
First of all, Richard would never do that.
I'm about to cry.
First of all, Richard would never do that.
I'm about to cry.
First of all, Richard would never do that.
Look at somebody that's not your friend. Richard would never do that. So you know Richard well. You know what he's capable of and not capable of. But when you see that he's selling his vehicle well under market value, and you know it's fishy, so you think Richard is just a big dummy, or you think Richard is just hurting because he lost his wife and he's ready to just sell everything and then possibly do something to go meet his wife again in the afterlife. And you're like, well, let me get his car before he gets up out of here. Man, look at this dude's face, man.
Both friends tried to report the fraud.
Both friends? No, one person possibly could be a friend. The other one is a degenerate that's trying to get over on his friend. He's not your friend.
Facebook's automated system never responded. The scammer kept selling the fake cars.
I feel really lucky that I didn't lose money in the process.
You feel really lucky you didn't lose money in the process? What about Rich, man? What if this was real? Let's do a hypothetical. Let's say this was real and you bought the car for $1,700 knowing that he paid way more than it. Because if he bought that car from the dealership, they're wanting $12,000 for it. So you're going to give him 10% of what it's worth? And I'm using conservative numbers. Honda Accords hold their value very well. Matter of fact, I'm going to look it up real quick. What was it? It was a 2012 Honda Accord. Let's just look it up real quick. Let's see. 2012 Honda Accord, 80,000 miles, perfect condition price. This might not come up very well. Yeah. It's right here. Now I'm going to show y'all, team. Oh, hold on. Where'd it go? I just had it right here. I got one right here. It's right here. Let me move this out the way. I'll read it off to you because it might not focus in well. Hold on. Let's see. I can't get focus on here. I'll try it one more time. Get notifications. All right, I can't get good focus on here, but I'll just say it. 2012 Honda Accord SE. You can see the picture of it though. Is this car right here? $11,888. That's what a dealer's selling it for. It might actually pull up like this. Let me see. Yeah, you can see it better here. Oh, I cannot get focus, y'all. Anyways, it's $12,000. This guy knows what it's worth. So if you did buy that car from Richard for $1,700, and what did he just say?
Kept selling the fake cars.
I feel really lucky that I didn't lose money in the process.
You feel really lucky that you didn't lose money in the process? But if you'd have bought that car for $1,700, Richard would have lost a lot of money if he sold you that car at that price. So you don't care about nobody but yourself, and Richard's not your friend. I mean, he might be your friend, but you're not his. And this is what I'm talking about, y'all. Like, you know, what we're seeing more and more is that the majority of the people that get scammed are trying to scam somebody in the first place. Nobody's making fair deals anymore. Everybody wants to get over on everybody. You know, one of the things I noticed Let's see if we got anything else in this real quick, and then we'll
But
go
at the
from there.
same time, it was also very scary that somebody can take over an account.
We contacted Meta, and this time a spokesperson replied and gave us a special reset code for Richard. After nearly a year, the scammer was gone. The account restored.
It is
Thank
like
you.
10 tons of weight.
This is a good
being
guy right
lifted.
here. Let me get a good still of him. This guy right here, Richard, I like him. I like him. Sorry for your loss, man, and keep your head up. Do not mess with that them two dudes that try to buy your property or anybody else probably that inundated that you seen. Well, I guess you didn't have control over it, but that you figured out after the fact that were messaging you, trying to get over on you in a time where you needed people to be there for you and not try to basically steal your stuff from you. That's no different than predatory family members coming to the house after somebody loses their life and then they're just rummaging through your stuff, stealing stuff, trying to open your safe, take everything they can. That's exactly what's happening here. It's all good, Rich. It's gonna work out for you, man.
It off of my shoulders.
But reset codes
It has to hurt to know that you just lost your wife and you don't have a friend. Because they just want to get over on you.
aren't available to the general public. Instead, Meta referred users to the same automated help link that did not help Richard. Meta said in part, "We know that losing and recovering and educate."
It was triumphant.
For 7 on your...
I'm glad he got his account back. That usually doesn't happen. Unlike Apple, Meta actually can restore your account if they choose to. Apple's not restoring your account under any circumstance. If you don't have the credentials to log back into your iCloud, you're never getting into an Apple account ever. But, Meta gives you that option, but it just shows that they keep your data in a space where, they can use it to their advantage. I had a point that I wanted to make. What was the point I wanted to make, team? I forgot what it was. I forgot what the point was. I guess it wasn't that important if I forgot. Let's go into undirected perspective. One of the things that I'll tell you is that when you're dealing with people that are your friends, the majority of the time they're not actually going to be your friends. And actually, hold on real quick. I just want to go back to this last part because I just noticed this. Out of this 882 friends that he has, it's right up here at the top. You can see it right here, 882. Out of 882 friends that he has, what do you think the percentage of people on there that are actually true friends of Richard's? Because we've already pointed out 2 that were actually willing to get on camera, which is crazy enough, and confess that they are when all their actions have showed that they're not. The other thing is this. When people try to make trades with you, they're oftentimes going to give you a bad deal. That's what I've noticed. Whenever somebody tries to trade for something on Facebook Marketplace, like you're selling a MacBook, they'll try to trade you something terrible, like a leather jacket or something like that. Like I have a guitar or something like that, or I have a whole bunch of baseball cards or something crazy like that. Like, I don't know, I want to say motorcycle helmet. They'll try to sell you like junk though, or trade you junk. So just be careful when you're on Facebook. Let's go on undirected perspective though. I think that's where we're at. All I got for this is just the friends that you have on Facebook are not your friends. You're going to have a finite amount of people that are actually your friends. And I spoke to my son about this where, teenagers, they get into a rebellious stage at some point in their life, and that's fine. But just trying to bring them back down to reality, You know, I told him that, you know, you have to be careful with alienating the people that are the closest to you to trying to please all of these other people that have no actual ties or allegiance to you, but they say that they're your friends. It's cliche to say, but actions are louder than words. And that's always going to be the case. You know, team, let's hold each other down, not only with words, but with actions. Let's be better for one another. That's why I call y'all a team and not a friend. Because, like, technically, teammates have something that they're both trying to get accomplished together. A friend is somewhat a situation where you can just have it really vague. Like, how do you really determine what a friend is? People have different definitions for what a friend will or won't do. But when you're a team and you're trying to reach the same goal as a collective, you know what to expect from your person on your left and your person on your right. So that's why I call y'all my team, and we could be friends as an extension, but we're all trying to get to the same goal together. And that's why I'll always keep it 100% with y'all and give y'all the real and give y'all context with everything that I do and say. And that's why my videos run long often. And I really go into what I'm trying to explain because it's important that we have this knowledge, because that's how we get better. The more we know, the more we have to work with, and the better decisions that we can make. I'm going to leave it at that. Until next time, y'all. Sell out. Yo, Rich, man. You going to be good, bro. You going to be good. I don't know if in your situation time heals all, but eventually you'll be back with your wife. But don't rush to get there. It's crazy, y'all.